If Tesla's Cybertruck is not for you, this one right here just might be. Alright, so if you watch my channel, you know I do a lot of electronic reviews, Apple stuff, PC stuff, and every once in a while I do electronic cars and things because they're kind of electronics, right? So what's the difference? I thought this car was really cool. It's actually a Rivian. Rivian's the name of the truck. It's actually the R1T, and it's a new truck coming out. You can pre-order them right now. So what this video is going to be about, I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to go in and show you some pictures, get you familiar with the vehicle, some of the specs on the vehicle, what it can do, 0 to 60 times, what it can tow. So if you like that stuff and you want to see a ton of cool pictures about this brand new truck, the Rivian, it's basically the R1T. There's going to be a SUV series coming out a little bit, at the same time. This is the pickup truck though. So without further ado, let's get into the pickup, the specs, the pictures, everything else. Enjoy. Alright, so for the specs, the width is 79.3 inches, length is 217, wheelbase is 135 inches, track is 67, up to 400 miles, that's the top, top tier, but 400 mile range, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, which is crazy, 750 horsepower. It's got 11.1 cubic feet of trunk. And the big thing that stands out here is a towing capacity of 11,000 pounds, which is pretty amazing for a truck of this size because of the torque it actually has in it. Here's just another screen you can look at. You can pause it here. It says pretty much the same thing. Wading depth over 3 feet, so that's pretty amazing as well. And you can see it here with that 11,000 pound towing capacity. This makes a great thing for trailers and RVs and everything else. So this car is really marketed for the outdoors people. It's all electric, of course, and it's one of those cars that has quad motor all-wheel drive, which is pretty amazing. So it's got 4 different motors, giving it 4-wheel drive. So they're really marketing towards the outside enthusiast. Independent air suspension gives this thing an incredible ride, they're saying. So I can't wait to test drive it, but it just says that the ride is really, really nice. It's got hydraulic roll control as well. So if you're on uneven terrain and stuff like that, it works really well. And then the batteries, it's 180 kilowatt hour batteries, and it gives it a super low center of gravity for a really, really good stable ride. And when you charge it, it looks really cool because it's got this big green bumper up the front and it turns green. Alright, so here's the first look at the inside of the car, and as you can see, it is made for, and I'll show you later, for people that like the outdoors for sure, but the inside is really, really nice. So this is a kind of car that you can definitely drive around the city. You can see leather interior. It's just really, really well stitched. I mean, this looks like a lot of cars that you would pay a lot more money for. Well, I guess this is pretty expensive to begin with, but it does look like a luxury inside of a car for sure. You can see the seats here and the doors. Everything's basically soft touch. It's got all the things you'd expect in a car. It's got the giant screens for navigation. Your speed indicator on your dash. You can put the maps up on the dash. Just a really, really nice interior for sure. So with all that said, they definitely are trying to market it also for people that want to drive around the city. So you'll see a lot of ads like this where they're driving it through buildings, and it's definitely nice enough where you could take someone out to dinner in this. It does not have to just be off-roading. So they want to go ahead and try to market it 2 different ways for sure. All right, but we all know this is really an outdoors person's car. So take a look at this. They have a gear tunnel built into this car, and I'll show you what that is, but it's really made for people that love the outdoors. So see that little hole behind the rear, or in front of the rear wheels there? That basically is where you can put gear number 1. It can be open like that, but it also has a ton of different options that you can actually put in there. So when you get it just standard, it comes with a big hole in there. But then you can actually buy options like basically stoves. Here's something that you can buy right here where you can have all your silverware, and you can have an actual stove that comes out of this. So people that camp out overnight, or they go into the desert, or they sleep in a tent, it's just an incredible feature to have in a car like this. I'd highly recommend it. And then the quad motors. So each motor can have up to 200 horsepower in it, which makes this an incredible off-roading machine. So, a lot of the people that are going to buy this are going to be off-roading. They're going to be going up mountains, dirt roads, everything in between. It's got tons of torque. People that have mountain bikes and other things, enthusiasts that have, canoes, this is just an incredible car for that. So keep that in mind. If you're a rock climber, you want to take it out to the national parks, or even better yet, you can actually take this thing camping. So it does come with a tent that they made for this, and it sits on the actual bed back there. So take a look at this. You can have have the pull-out grill, you can have your tent, you can have your mountain bikes on the back of it as well, and just make it a day of camping. So, if you're into that kind of stuff, this is probably the number one car or truck for that. So if you do like the idea of camping and stuff, you do need to get this flexible crossbar system. And what this does is it replaces just the open bed like this. You just normally have an open bed, and it puts this little crossbar system on, which gives you a platform where you can put, if you want to store anything on top of it like this, gives you a great option to do that. And here's another picture of what it looks like with the tent on top of it. So holds the weight, and you just need to get that extra crossbar system, and that enables you to basically carry anything you want. And last but not least, it does have a trunk, but it's actually in the front of the car, so it's really cool. It has a lot of space up there, and really cool trunk overall. And then here's just some more information. You can pause it here. These are some FAQs about the actual truck. So go ahead and pause this, and you can read through them if you want to. Very interesting information. All right, so what did everyone think? It's a pretty cool truck for sure. You can't beat it. The Rivian is basically, it's made in, I guess hopefully I'm saying that right, but it's basically made in, I think it's like Normal, Bloomington, Illinois, actually, believe it or not. And I'm from Illinois, so it's going to be made in this state. And looks pretty cool. I mean, again, the cost is going to be up there, especially when you start adding options. But I guess, if you have the money and you just want that truck, it's got a lot of cool features on it. It's got the towing capacity. It's got just the cool factor. It's got the 0 to 60 time. It's got 4 different motors in it, so it's going to be great off-road. It's just looks like a great truck overall. We just don't know yet until we get them on the road. It's actually got a good range, too, for a Cybertruck for sure. So long story well, I guess I keep calling it the Cybertruck, but it's not actually a Cybertruck. It's the Rivian truck. So getting those kind of terms interchangeable, Tesla's pretty good with what they do. So anyways, at the end of the day, you guys know my videos. I make videos on everything from electronics to Apple and everything in between. If you can support my channel, please help me out by subscribing. It's going to help me continue to make these. I will talk to you in, I make 2 or 3 a week, so I'll talk to you soon. Peace.